In this tutorial in Cyberlink PowerDirector, I'd like to give you some advantages of working in the storyboard view. If you're like me, you tend to get addicted to working only in the timeline view, but there are occasions when switching to the storyboard view can be advantageous. Let's see when that happens. I'm working on a project here and I have a single video clip on track number 1. That's all we have so far. To switch to the storyboard view, all you need to do is press the Tab key on your keyboard. We'll click on the project and do that, and there it is. Now you have to remember two things about the storyboard view. It only shows you what's on track 1, but if you have other things on other tracks that go beyond where the first track is, it will show you blank space and give you time code. Let me show you what I mean. So let's take this video here and drag it on track 2. And so it will overlap what's on track 1. Watch what happens when I press the Tab key to storyboard. Now I notice that I have 25 seconds and 17 frames of my first clip, but I have something else on another track that extends beyond it 15 seconds and 23 frames. If I press back, let's verify that. I'm going to go to the end of the clip. I'll click down on the other clip here and we'll split it. And we'll look at the time code on that, and it is indeed 15 seconds and 23 frames. I'll undo my split there. Let's actually take this out. So the other thing you can do is, beyond seeing if there's anything that's longer, is you can easily rearrange on this view. Now again, this applies only to track number 1, but let's say I have a couple of elements here. Let's take this here. And let's assume I want to swap this segment for this segment. Now, it's very hard to do on the timeline view. Easy on the storyboard view. Press the Tab key, click and drag, you'll see the red line, let go, and now I just switched them. If I want to take this one, I can move it back here, and I can move them all day long. So I can easily switch elements on this track. Now it doesn't modify elements that are below it, but it's a nice way to begin to organize things if you're thinking primarily in terms of your base track number 1. Another thing that you can do is very nice. Let me move this last clip over 1 frame. Now you can't see that very well on your monitor or mine, but there's 1 frame between the two. And lots of times we have these spaces, these gaps that we don't expect. Watch what happens when I press the Tab key to get into storyboard view. Immediately it notices, look, I have a 1 frame gap between clip number 2 and clip number 3. Now I can't click on it and delete it, but I can move over here on the other side of it, and then basically that's the same as making it disappear. If I want to do that in another way, I'll do Control Z to undo that. We have to go back into the timeline view, and then we have to magnify it. And there we see our gap, and then we can physically move it, and we're fine. But it's a lot quicker just to flip to the storyboard view and make that adjustment. Another thing you may have in the longer project is you may have little fragments that are orphaned. Let's go to the end of this clip here, press the End key, and then I'll back up 1 frame and do Control T to split it. Now I can see it here, but if I go at my normal magnification, where I have the whole project here, I can't tell I have an orphan frame over here. But when I press the storyboard key, boom, I see I have an orphan frame. The last frame of this clip is here, and it's 1 second long. So it's a real nice way to find these little bits and pieces that somehow tend to mess up your editing after you've been working a long time, and I thought you might find that useful. Let's see if we can delete that since it has content. I'll right click and press remove or delete. And if it has content, you can get rid of it. So that's an easy way to make that kind of a change in the storyboard view. Another thing you can do if you want to is add music. Let me show you a way to handle this in the timeline view. Let's say I have this music score and I want to know how much longer it is than my video. Now I can click here and I can adjust the length, and I can visually see it's longer, but I don't have any time reference. I could split it and count it over here, but there's a quicker way. Go to the storyboard view, and it's 1 minute, 5 seconds, and 21 frames longer than the video. So I have this black space that indicates content beyond that last picture. So that helps me, at least if I want to do some analysis to see how I want to fill the gap. And we'll remove that. Let's add some music. Now, if I want to add music in the storyboard view, there's a quick way to do it for my whole project. I simply click on the icon of the music symbol, and I can add background music. So I'll take some background music, and I just click on the icon to select it, and I'll pick whatever I want and click on OK. So it's going to add that. We also see it over here. Let's see what happens when we go back to the timeline view. What did it do? It took that music and it added it and replicated it. So it doesn't do a fade in and fade out. It cuts it off abruptly. So if you want to tweak it and add a fade out or something like that, you certainly can. But if you want something really quick and dirty to add music, that's a very easy way to add background music that will match the duration of your project so far relative to what you see on track number 1. So it's just a little shortcut. I normally wouldn't use it, but it's available, so I thought I'd highlight it for you. So those are a couple of the things that you can do to switch back and forth to the storyboard mode to clean up things in your project and to save yourself some energy, especially when you need to move things around. It's very quick, very easy, and it's just one key press away in CyberLink PowerDirector.